Hello everyone, welcome to GED. Today we have some Van Camp's Pork and Beans on Toast. And we're talking about our game developers full of beans. So guys, beans and toast, I mean, it's not really a thing I make a lot of the time. But oh gosh, it is pretty dang good. I mean, if you're used to it, if you grew up on it, it's excellent. However, in this pork and beans, I see very little pork and mostly beans, and that's kind of the topic of today's discussion. Our developers basically pulling the wool over our eyes and giving us just beans when there's no pork or sustenance to their games, what they're developing. This is also pretty hot, so let's just try it. Very good. Van Camp's is not particularly my favorite brand of pork and beans, but they make a decent product. I mean, don't knock it until you try it. The spice and the tomatoes, very good, but I mean, I see very little pork in their pork and beans. Maybe just little flakes of pork. Okay, so we got one out of the way. I'm gonna take a drink of water here. So I'm gonna use an example of a playthrough I recently did of Rage 2. Rage 2 is a great game, but it's not worth the price tag that it comes out at release anyways. First of all, they tout this as being all amazing, crazy new innovative weaponry and abilities and powers and stuff like that, and game design, and guys, it's just not there. Yes, the core Doom style ID Software gameplay is there, and it's fun. It's interesting, right? To play a Doom open world shooter, but the game, you can tell, is halfway done, half baked, if you will. It's not a full product in any sense of the word. The quest system, well, there is no quest system. There's basically just about, I don't know, maybe a total of 20 quests in the entire game. It feels rushed. It feels out of place. It feels incomplete. There's areas of the game that just feel like they were only maybe 60% of the way finished. The level design is good. It's complete in terms of just the scenery. But the actual play of the game, in the sense of quest to quest or mission to mission, just falls flat on its face. It's like they didn't even have a writer for the voice actors, because, for example, his voice car, I mean, they don't explain why it talks. It's just like a mechanical car that is just there. And the features are revolving around vehicles. I know I'm kind of jumping from point to point here, but the features around vehicles are completely absent. Yes, there's a whole vehicle combat system, but it literally just revolves around your main vehicle. Every other vehicle in the game feels like an afterthought, and they're not upgradable, they're not changeable, it's just there. There's no real fun to be had in vehicles because, I mean, you can't interact with half the level. Everywhere the enemies really are in your core missions or core areas of gameplay aren't even accessible via vehicle, so you're pretty much walled off from completing missions via vehicle. You have to get out, you have to interact on foot. And I'm not trying to turn this into a Rage 2 review, but my point is that developers are selling half-made products, and they're touting it as something it's not. This touts as pork and beans. It's 90% beans with a little bit of pork thrown in. That's exactly what the game developers are giving you nowadays, and it sucks as gamers. And we accept it. We buy their products, we pay the money, we pay the full price, and there's no repercussions for the developers. They are literally allowed to sell these products that, just because it's proprietary software, they can release whatever they want as long as it resembles a game. And then we, the communities, are just left suffering with products that are very bad, very poorly designed, very ill implemented, a la another game like Anthem. Anthem is just, it was a good game in concept, a good game in development, but somewhere along the way it just lost everything. Even now, like months later, they're still trying to recover it, but they're still making epic failures with their development process and not even listening to their community. So I don't know, basically you guys have to tell me what you think about this shame of a game industry that we're now living in this modern 2020 world almost. Are we gonna just accept this kind of stuff forever, where games are just cranked out to grab our dollar? Or are people actually gonna like resist corporate greed and stop buying products that are just bad, just plain bad? There are games coming out on the market now in 2019 that look like they were developed for PlayStation 1. I mean, the graphics are absolutely abysmal for the standard of quality we have now. And yeah, I can understand retro games like going back intentionally, but these people are touting their games as being revolutionary graphics or revolutionary gameplay or yada yada yada. A good example is the new Warhammer Diablo style game. I can't even think of the name of it right now. Perhaps someone can help me in the comments, but it looks trashy. It looks so bad. But game reviewers are saying, oh, it's going to be the next best thing to Diablo, or etc., etc. No, I'm sorry, it's not. It's just not. Like, and if you think games like that will survive and you get fooled by reviews, shame on you and shame on them. At some point, we as a gaming community have to stop looking at people who give false reviews or hype stuff that's just not worth the hype. And just stop buying it. Just pure and simple. Like, stop falling into the trap of giving them your money, because it won't stop unless we do. But the sad fact is, there will always be people just trying to grab your money out of your pocketbook to please the business end of gaming. And it can't be helped. But my advice is just be wary and don't pre-order. Don't pre-order before you know a game is going to be worth your money. That's it, guys. That's all I got. I mean, help me out here. Start a discussion. We need to talk about this subject, well, in general, as a worldwide gaming community. But anyways, I can only go so far. Guys, remember to game, eat, and discuss. I'll catch you in the next one.